Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Wednesday night, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. I want to welcome you to the All 60s edition, the October 5th, 2022 edition of the All 60s show, where I feature original vinyl 45s till midnight tonight out of my collection. And we do the Soul 45s here on the Wednesday night show. We opened up tonight with trumpeter, a band leader, arranger, and producer. He was born in Ashland, Mississippi, but raised in Memphis, Tennessee. Formed his own band back in 1954, would become the house band for a label called Home of the Blues, and also High Records, eventually becoming the president of the High Record label. He would have 24 releases on High Records between 63 and 1973. You may know his biggest hit from 68. It was called Soul Serenade. That was his 14th release. We just heard his 16th release called Up Hard. Up Hard from September 68, charted number 31 on Billboard, 63 on Cashbox, a big number 8 record if you were tuned in to WHBQ in Memphis, Tennessee. Mr. Willie Mitchell. Willie Mitchell from September 68 on High Records, Up Hard. Johnny G's gonna go hard tonight on the 45s. Let's open up the vocal portion here with a group from the west side of Chicago. Their debut single came out in May of 1966. Came out on the Glow Star record label. It was called Crying Bitter Tears. But here's one that came out on the local Torrid label. It would be picked up by Date Records, and it became their biggest hit, and that's how I have it on Date Records. It was number 56 on Billboard, 55 on Cashbox, but a big number 1 record if you were tuned into WAWA in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It features Wesley Wells on lead, the vocal opener from May 69. These are the Steelers. The Steelers on the Date label. It's called Get It From the Bottom.
Maybe, but never too much. Soft lights and our favorite tunes, locked behind closed doors and our favorite. Hey, hey, get it from the bottom. Let's get it from the bottom. Get it from your heart. I got to have it from the bottom of your heart. I've been told can hurt the heart and ruin the soul. But when my woman gets me behind closed doors, this feeling I get, I can't control. Get it from the bottom. Let's get it from the bottom. Get it from your heart. I got to have it from the bottom of your heart. Of your heart. Rocks under my pillow and tears in my eyes. It made me realize that I love you. Get it from the bottom. Let's get it from the bottom. Get it from your heart. I got to have it from the bottom. I need your love right now, baby. From the bottom. I got to have all of your love from the bottom. Ooh, baby, from the bottom. From the bottom. I got to have it.
That group called the Steelers. The Steelers there from May 1969. Featured it on the second label. Yes, put that right on the, leave it there. Leave the phone there. You didn't have to come all the way up to give me my phone. You didn't have to do that. Did it ring? All right, thank you, Mom, for doing that. There you go. Those are the Steelers there from May 1969. Featured it on the Date record label. Get It From the Bottom. The name of the tune originally came out on the Torrid label. That's a local label out of Chicago. I have it on the Date. I think I have one of their others on Torrid, though. And we continue here now. Up next, a group that got their start back in 1953, recording for the Atlantic record label. I mostly feature this group on my 50s and early 60s show. They had many great lead singers that went on to solo careers. Clyde McPhatter, Benny King, Charlie Thomas, Rudy Lewis, Johnny Moore, Johnny Lee Williams, Bobby Hendricks. They all had solo releases at one time or another. Not to mention, the Drifters had 49 releases on the Atlantic record label, if you collect them like I do, between 1953 and 1971. Let's give a listen to their 39th release on the Atlantic label. This charted number 91 on Billboard. Number 20 record on KENO. If you were listening in Las Vegas, Nevada, it features the great Johnny Moore on lead. This is from June 1965. The Drifters on the Atlantic label. It's called Follow Me.
I'm getting tired of doing nothing, wasting time. I know there's gotta be a new place I can find, somewhere where I'll be free and satisfied. Yeah, but baby, I will need you by my side. Oh, can't you hear me calling you, calling you, calling you? Strong as iron, holding you. And with these arms I wanna do things, yes I do. I wanna be a someone in this town, but someone's always trying to put me down. Oh, can't you hear me calling you, calling you, calling you? Gotta pack our bags and be here right away. If we don't catch the next bus, baby, we might stay. And that will be the end of me, I know. Yeah, so baby, come on, grab your things, let's go. Oh, can't you hear me calling you, calling you, calling you?
That's a late one by the Drifters there. The only thing wrong with that record is it's on styrene. Johnny G hates styrene 45s. That's their 39th release on the Atlantic label with a Johnny Moore on lead. June 1965, the Drifters with Follow Me. Follow Johnny G till midnight tonight. And up next, a gal. She is originally from Eudora. Did I say that right? Or is it, or Eudora? I don't know how you pronounce that. Eudora, Arkansas. She was born Jacqueline Mary Baldane, and but she grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana. She moved to San Francisco back in 1954. Now, in 1960, she married saxophonist Big J McNeely, and they performed together. Now, she would have her debut single in 1966 on the Phlecton label, a big Northern Soul 45 that I do not own. But then she signed with Modern Records for her next 3 releases. Let's give a listen to her third. It's a song she co-wrote from June of 1967. Her name is Jackie Day. Jackie Day on the Modern label. It's called Long As I Got My Baby. Whoops, that was a cold ending there. That's Jackie Day from June 1967. That's her third release on the Modern label. Long As I Got My Baby is the name of the tune. I think she would have 2 more releases in her career, one on the Specialty label. I did have it pulled in the box there that I'll play, and another one on Paula. I think I even have that one too. I don't know if I have it pulled to play, but let's continue here. Now, for this Southern Soul singer, had 8 releases on the local Minaret record label, and I didn't say where Minaret was. It was out of Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, it was, including a couple of duets with Doris Allen. Now, he had releases. Those 8 releases were between 1967 and 1970. Now, this is his 6th release. It's the B-side. It's the side that I prefer, a song he wrote together with Melvin Mims. This is from September 1969. He goes by the name of Big John Hamilton. Big John Hamilton on the Minaret record label. It's called Take This Hurt Off Me.
of doing you wrong. The time I left you standing all alone. You know temptation will lead a man astray, but I never thought that hurt you make me feel this way. Oh, you just got to take this hurt off me. You just got to take this hurt off me one more time. Oh, one more time, my darling. Please don't leave me standing by myself. I know I love you and nobody else. It's taken me a long time to find it out. I'll prove my love to you without a shadow of a doubt. You just got to take this hurt off me. You just got to take this hurt off me one more time. Oh, one more time, darling. Let me love you. Oh, let me love you, baby. I got to love just one more time, my darling. Let me hold, let me squeeze you. Because to me, my darling, just one more time, Lord. Oh, one more time, baby. One more time.
I really like that tune there. That's Big John Hamilton. Big John Hamilton with a B-side there from September 1969. That's his sixth release. Came out on the Minaret record label. Take This Hurt Off Me is the name of that tune. And let's go now to Chicago. This singer, originally out of Chicago, relocated to East St. Louis, began singing in gospel groups. Now he would become the lead vocalist for band leader Oliver Sane, who was also working with Fontella Bass about the same time. Now he brought the pair up to Leonard Chess's Checker record label. They had 3 releases together, and you may know their big hit was their debut single. It was called Don't Mess Up a Good Thing. But they both had solo releases for the Checker label. Now here's the B-side to his third release, a tune written by Maurice McAllister. Of course, he was the lead singer of the Radiants, and Sugar Pie DeSanto. She had her own cool releases on the Cadet record label, a subsidiary of Checker Records. This is from May 1967. Let's give a listen to Bobby McClure. Bobby McClure on the Checker label. It's called Don't Get Your Signals Crossed.
When you see the red signal, baby, this means stop for me. When you see the green signal now, go no further, you belong to me. Oh, if another fella's passing by and you see the cursed sign flashing in my eye, don't let the wrong sign mess up your mind. If you jaywalk, you're gonna get caught. Don't get your signals crossed. Don't get your signals crossed. Or when you try to step out the safety zone, you can't stop a broken heart. Or when you try to step out the crosswalk, baby, it's gonna be broken for sure. It's best you know just who I am, so you won't start a traffic jam. Don't let the wrong sign mess up your mind. If you jaywalk, you're gonna get caught. Don't get your signals crossed. Don't get your signals crossed. Staying out on rubber lane, and don't you switch in or out, 'cause we're not playing a U-turn game. If you think so, you're gonna find out. Or when you try to step out the safety zone, you can't stop a broken heart. Or when you try to step out the crosswalk, baby, it's gonna be broken for sure. It's best you know just who I am, mess up your mind. If you jaywalk, you gonna get caught. Don't get your signals crossed. Don't get your signals crossed. What about that red light, baby? Watch that blue green. Don't get your signals crossed. Caution, baby.
That's from May 1967. That's Bobby McClure. Bobby McClure on the Checker label. Don't Get Your Signals Crossed is the name of the tune. Now, the A-side was called Baby You Don't Love Me, which did pretty good. It was a number 10 record on WBEE in Chicago. It was unfortunate, though, that Bobby died November 13th of 1992. He was only 50 years old. Died of complications from a brain aneurysm, but we remember him here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue. We go to Philadelphia now with this cool girl group. They were called the Baby Dolls. This is on Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff's Gamble record label. And both of those guys, they also produced it, written by Kenny Gamble and Elizabeth Bacone. And she was the owner of the Bacone label. And there's some pretty in-demand records on that Bacone record label, the Limitations, and I think the Voltaires. I think two groups on that label. They're rare 45s. I bet you this girl group recorded for her, and she brought the tune to Gamble Records. But this charted number 15 on WDAS, if you were listening in Philadelphia, from January 1968. These are the Baby Dolls. The Baby Dolls on Gamble. It's called Please Don't Rush Me.
Please don't rush me, rush me, rush me right away. Please don't rush me, rush me, rush me right away. I've been wanting to love
That's the sound of Philadelphia here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. They're called the Baby Dolls. The Baby Dolls on Gamble Records. Please, in parentheses, Don't Rush Me is the name of the tune. That one released in January 1968. Very popular in the Philadelphia area. Too bad that record didn't get national exposure. That is not good. But anyway, you get to hear it here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And up next, a singer out of Philadelphia, PA. Now, his debut single came out on the Lawn label in November of 1963. I have featured it on my 50s and early 60s show, a song called Hey You. It was, I think it was on Dick Clark's Raider record back in 1963. It did feature it here on the 50s and early 60s program. His name was Bob Murphy. Now, he would later record as Bobby Wells on the Mercury label. He actually, in May of 1964, he does a male cover version of Mary Wells' hit My Guy. It's called Your Guy. Then in 1967, Bobby, along with his brother Roscoe Murphy, they created a label in Philadelphia. They called it the Romur, R-O-M-U-R label, where Bobby had 3 releases as Bobby Wells, and he also had one as Robert Murphy. And this is an odd song, and it's a special song because one of Johnny G's listeners, and that would be Brian Korn of Wisconsin. He just celebrated a birthday. I think it was Saturday. He celebrated a birthday, and maybe this is going to be a common event here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. If I know if it's anybody's birthday, I can play either side of this record. This is really odd, though, that there's this release on the Romer record label. It's from 1969. First, I didn't know how to date the record, but there's a copyright on the label. It's from 1969. This is Robert Murphy on the Romer label, and I picked this is called the shuffle side, and this is going out to, this is a belated birthday wish to listener Brian Korn, who's taking snapshots and working on his future auctions, by the way, his future eBay auctions. But this is for Brian. It's by Robert Murphy. It's called Happy Soul Birthday for Brian Korn.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Happy birthday to you. The frown on your brow will let me know somehow what wisdom and age has taught you. The smile on your face just never will erase what love and time has brought you. So congratulations, oh congratulations, you still look the same as yesterday. Forget about the time, have another glass of wine, 'cause you got another birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, baby, to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, oh, to you. Yeah, happy birthday, happy birthday.
There you go. That was a belated birthday wishes for Brian Korn in our YouTube chat room. And that's Robert Murphy. Robert Murphy, a.k.a. Bobby Murphy, also recorded as Bobby Wells. I have other releases by him on this Romer record label. It's a 1969 release, Happy Soul Birthday. The interesting thing is, if any of you gals are having a birthday, I'll play the flip side of it. It's called a blues version, but it's a nice, slow, soulful version and much longer. This one was only a minute 27. The flip side is 3 minutes. So you gals, you're going to get a 3-minute birthday song if you just let Johnny know when it's your birthday. Mine passed. Barbara's coming up. Hers is November 3rd. So that's probably, maybe I'll play it before then. You'll never know. But anyway, there you go. That is a special request. That is a special dedication to Brian Korn. Now let's continue now. And this next singer, he's from Philadelphia, first sang with the 1950s vocal group The Dreams, recorded for Herman Lubinsky's Savoy Records. Now, he would become a member of Steve Gibson's Red Caps in 1959. He became the lead singer of the group, and he would go solo in 1960, recording for a number of different labels. And I think he also would later on be backed up by a reincarnation of the modern Red Caps. Now, he would sign with Wand Records in 1969 for his final 3 releases of his career. Now, this was his first, and it's a cover of a Motown song. This was first done by Marvin Gaye in September of 1965. This version, released 4 years later, made it up to number 35 on the Billboard R&B charts and number 21 on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, it's a Linwood production for Johnny Madera Enterprises Limited. So let's go to July of 1969. Give a listen to George Tinley. George Tinley on the Juan label and his rendition of the tune, Ain't That Peculiar.
About you, stay away too long, girl, and I can't do without you. Every chance you get, you try to hurt me more and more. But each hurt just makes my love stronger than before. I know that flowers go from rain. How can I love? Ain't that peculiar? Peculiar as can be. Ain't it peculiar, baby? Peculiarity. Ooh, honey, sugar baby, you've been cheating and lying now. I'm so much in love with you, baby, till I don't rightly see the things you do and say are designed to make me blue, yeah. Doggone shame, my love for you makes all your lies seem true. Well, it's true, makes love longer. Oh, your lies keep my love stronger. Ain't that peculiar, 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 peculiar as can be? Ain't it peculiar, 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 peculiar as can be? Yeah, 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 yeah. I know love can last 2 years. Oh, my love got to last good years. Ain't it peculiar, baby? Come on now. Ain't it peculiar, baby? Oh, love peculiar, peculiar, peculiarity. Baby, 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 say honey, honey, your love peculiar, just as me. Oh, baby, baby, baby,
Cover tunes here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Amazing that is George Tinley. If you listen to him singing with the Dreams, he's doing those really deep ballads back in 1954. But this one here is from July of 1969. George Tinley with a cover of the Marvin Gaye tune Ain't That Peculiar. Came out on the Juan record label. Now Mark Speck and Reed, I think he doubled down on Mark Speck's a comment, wants to hear the flip side of this 45. So we're going to do an instant request for Mark Speck and Reed King in the YouTube chat room as I line up the record here. And you know how my feelings are for styrene 45s. But anyway, here we go. So let's flip over that George Tinley record, Ain't That Peculiar, from July of 1969. This is the B-side. The B-side called It's All Over But the Shouting, tune written by Len Barry and Tim Moore. This is for Reed and Mark.
I knew that you were contemplating leaving me, but now the time has come to face reality. I realize that I'm not your final choice by now, so I must prepare myself to live a life without arms to wrap around me and lips to light my flame, love to make me happy and you to keep me sane. It's all over but the shouting, it's all over but the crying and the partying. It's all over but the shouting, it's all over, baby it's over, and don't you leave me, woo, baby, baby. I knew that I would ultimately lose my mind. My heart can't take it, baby, it's just a matter of time. I scream out your name on every crowded street. People point their fingers and they're laughing at me, saying, look, he's lost his baby, and now he's lost his mind. Look, he's going crazy, shouting all the time. It's all over, but the shouting. It's all over, but the crying and the fighting. It's all over, but the shouting. It's all over, I know it's over, baby it's over. Woo! Baby, baby, baby. I know I've lost my mind, but still I've got my throat. It's better to scream than to give up. Oh, shouting and screaming till the end of my days. Even though I know I can't scream the hurt away. Oh please, someone slap me and tell me it's not true. I need love to make me happy, baby. I need you. Hey, it's all over but the shouting. It's all over but the crying and the fighting. It's all over but the shouting. It's all over, woo, over. Hey, it's all over but the shouting. It's all over but the crying and the fighting. It's all over but the shouting. It's all over, baby. It's all over.
Instant requests here on the All 60s edition. That one there going out to Mark Speck and Reed King in our YouTube chat room. That is the B-side to George Tinley's, what did I say? That was his, was it his first release? Yeah, that was his first release on Juan, first of three for Juan, Ain't That Peculiar. That's a cool B-side. It's called It's All Over But the Shouting. I wonder, did Len Barry, he wrote that, did he cover that tune also? Didn't really, this is, maybe you guys know, because he is a co-writer on that tune. Maybe not. Maybe he was writing also back in 1969. I'm sure he was. But let's continue here on the All 60s 1960s edition for this next singer out of New York. First started recording with his brother Jim. They recorded as Jim and Bob Harrison and also as the Harrison Brothers. I know I have a bunch of their releases on Clock and Smash and Emmett, also Everlast, ABC Paramount, and Babalu labels. And in 1965, brother Bob went solo as Bobby Harris. Bobby Harris, first on Atlantic, then his second release was a duet with Pat Lundy, came out on the Heidi label. I think I have that one too. But in 1966, he did two for Turntable Records. Now, this is his first, written by ex-Cadillac member J.R. Bailey and Vernon Harrell. This is arranged by Robert Banks. All group guys there, by the way. This is from October 65. Give a listen to Bobby Harris. Bobby Harris on Turntable Records. It's called Password of Love.
It's growing stronger than a wild oak tree. Gotten so deep, oh yeah, I never set you free. No, if someone tell you I've been untrue, the password is love for me and you. Oh, darling, for you and me. I climbed the highest mountain.
That's the first of two for Bobby Harris on the Turntable record label. October 65 release. It's called Password. Password is Love. I thought I was going to say Password of Love. But anyway, there you go. That's Bobby Harris there. Don't forget your passwords. I was talking to George Tompkins last week. He says, I use passwords on all my sites. You can't use the same password. That is a definite no-no. Don't do that. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. Hope you're digging on the tunes. I got your request there, Mr. Dave the Rave. We got a twin spin here for Mr. Bobby Harris here, as his next two releases would come out on Burt Burns' Shout record label. And this tune, written and produced by Burt Burns, this was a number 13 record on WAME if you were listening in Miami, Florida. His first of two on Shout from August 1966. Bobby Harris with the song called Sticky Sticky.
Sticky, sticky, come on. Sticky, come on. La, 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 la.
Sticky, sticky, where did you come from? No one know you and you know no one. Sticky, baby, where you get that name? I thought Snoopy was a bit insane. Come on home, Sticky. Come on home, Sticky. Sticky, 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 they'll be coming after you now. Hey!
Sticky, sticky, come on. Sticky, come on now. La, 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 la. Sticky, 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 come on. Sticky, come on. La, 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 la.
Sticky, sticky, put your long wig on. Let me watch you shake it all night long. Come on, Sticky, girl, tell me what's best you do. Ooh, Jerker is a logo. Come on home, Sticky. Come on home, Sticky. Sticky, 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 they'll be coming after you now. Hey!
Sticky, sticky, come on. Sticky, come on. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Sticky, sticky, come on. Sticky, come on. La, 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 la. Sticky, come on. Sticky, come on.
Sticky, baby, you are out of sight. Sticky, let me take you home tonight. Come on, Sticky girl, it's time to move. You better quit or you are gonna move. Come on home, Sticky. Come on home, Sticky. Sticky, 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 they'll be coming after you now. Hey!
Sticky, sticky, come on. Sticky, come on. La, 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 la. Sticky, 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 come on. Sticky, come on. La, 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 la. Sticky, sticky, come on. Sticky, come on.
That's a twin spin for Bobby Harris. Bobby Harris, that one there on Burt Burns' Shout record label. Song entitled Sticky Sticky. I hate when my fingers get sticky and I touch my 45, especially like the dot label. You don't want to do that. You don't even want to touch anything greasy. That you don't want to get those grease stains on the label. That is for sure. But that's August 1966. That one there is his first of two on the label. Now we have an instant request here for Mr. Dave the Rave. He's in our YouTube chat room. He wants Johnny G to flip the 45 over, give a listen to the B-side. We're going to do that instantly here for Dave the Rave. Now the B-side here also written and produced by the label owner. That's Mr. Burt Burns. We go back to August 1966. You flip over Sticky Sticky on the Shout label by Bobby Harris. You get this tune. It's called Mr. Success for Mr. Success, Dave the Rave.
Cry me a tear for love. One little tear for love. Come with me Success. Oh no, Mr. Success. That pretty little girl over there, she used to love me. Yes, she did. Yeah. I told my baby I would have to go, but I didn't know that I loved her. Yes, I did, yeah. See the little boy with her, he don't know me. That's my kid, but I could never tell him. So you see, that's the end of my story. Can you guess? Oh no, yeah, why they call me Mr. Success? They always calling me Mr. Success. Please, kid, don't throw them stones at me. If you only knew the love I had for you, kid, you don't know what you're doing.
There you go. There you go with an instant request for Mr. Success, Dave the Rave. That was a B-side there for Bobby Harris. Who's calling me now? Bobby Harris, August 1966 on Burt Burns' Shout record label, song entitled Mr. Success. If you're new to the program here, you're watching Johnny G for the first time on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click the bell to get notifications, the subscription button, and also click the thumbs up if you will. Much appreciated for the Vinyl Treasure show as we continue here. And up next, this gal, she's out of Newark, New Jersey. First recording gospel at the age of 6 with her siblings as the Jones Singers. She cut her first release in 1963 for the Cub label. She was known as Linda Lane on that release, but she met up with producer, songwriter, and ex-Serenaders group member George Kerr, who was instrumental in all of her releases. If you check all the labels that she's on, George Kerr's name is mentioned somewhere on there. Arranger, producer, writer, somewhere on the label. But as I lost my place here, but she was instrumental in all her releases. Now, beginning with her March 65 release that came out on the Atco label, and others that followed were on Blue Cat, which I have featured here on the program. She did 7 on Loma. I think she did 7 on the Loma label, and also that was through April of 69, but she recorded 2 on the Neptune label, a label out of Philadelphia, and that label was owned by Leon Huff and William Dunst, and this was actually a cover song. This tune was first recorded by the OJs on Bell Records back in 1967. Now, this is her version here. Her name is Linda Jones. This charted number 40 on the R&B chart, number 12 on WHAT, if you were listening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we go to October 1969 for Miss Linda Jones. Linda Jones on Neptune, and her rendition of the tune, I'll Be Sweeter Tomorrow.
You can.
Whoops. That's Linda Jones. Linda Jones from October 1969. That's on the Neptune record label. Send it out to Jerry Nazen. I know he likes Linda Jones. I'll Be Sweeter Tomorrow is the name of the tune. It's actually a cover of the OJ 67 release on the Bell label. Now, she has others that came out on Turbo back in 1970. It was unfortunate, though, that she passed away March 14th of 1972. I think she was performing, it might have been at the Apollo or something, but then she didn't feel well now because she was a diabetic and she was 27 years old. She eventually passed away from the diabetic shock is what they called it. And she's only 27. Unfortunate for Miss Linda Jones. We remember her here on the Vinyl Treasures show. Let's go back to Philadelphia. Actually, we aren't with that label. We're in Philadelphia, but we go to Philadelphia now for Walter Sigler, a.k.a. Bunny Sigler. Started back in 1958 with releases on the Hilo label, and he has one on B with the Cardells. That's not an easy record to find. And then in 1961, releases on Craig and also the V-Tone label. Signed with Decca in 65, has 3 releases on Decca. Then in 66, he signed with the Parkway record label, which brings us to this 45. He had 4 releases. Now, this is the B-side to his third, and no, I should say I played the B-side to his third on I think it was last week's show. It was called Sunny Sunday, which came out in September 67. This is his first release on the Parkway label. This tune written by Leon Huff, who also produced it, with Johnny Madera and Danny White. This was a big number 6 record on WHAT in Philadelphia. We go to December 1966 for this 45 by Bunny Sigler. It's on Parkway. It's called Girl, Don't Make Me Wait.
Girl, you promised me that one day you'll be the love I can call all mine. Every time I ask, are you ready for love? You tell me that you need more time. But baby, please don't make me wait too long. 'Cause without you I can't go on. You are the one for me, and I need you so desperately. As the days go by, I find that my love for you is getting stronger. But the only thing that you say to me is hold on a little bit longer, baby. Please don't make me wait too long. 'Cause without you I can't go on. Sugar, you are the one for me, and I need you so desperately. Girl, don't make me wait. This loneliness I can't take. Now I'm on my bended knees, begging you, baby, please don't make me wait too long. 'Cause honey, without you I can't go on. Baby, you are the one for me, and darling, I need you. Listen, girl, baby, don't make me wait. Don't make me wait too long. 'Cause honey, without you I can't go on. Baby, you are the one for me. Oh, sugar, I need you. Baby, don't. Baby, don't. Oh, honey, don't make me wait too long.
That's the sound of Bunny Sigler here on the All 60s edition. Came out on the Parkway record label December 1966. And that is his, what did I say? That's his first on the Parkway label. Song entitled Girl, Don't Make Me Wait. We got another instant request for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room as we flip this 45 over here. And this is the B-side of the 45, a tune again written by Johnny Madera, David White, and I don't know Gilmore's first name. Maybe somebody in the chat room does, but I do not. But this is Bunny Sigler. This is a B-side going out to Mark Speck. It's called Always in the Wrong Place, parentheses, at the Wrong Time. This is Bunny Sigler.
I was just a boy, I'd never had a toy. My folks were just too poor to buy me one. But if the fates were kind, another place, another time, I would have been a rich man's son. But I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time. It's slowly messing up my mind. I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time, always just a little bit behind. Every single day, this young man works hard for his pay, but it never seems to be enough. Now I've been shooting for the sky, shot down by every try. Getting there sure is mighty tough, 'cause I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time, slowly messing up my mind. I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time. It's slowly messing up my mind. When I first met you, I thought your love was true. I wanted you to be my wife. But last night when I was by myself, girl, I saw you with somebody else. I guess that's just the story of my life, 'cause I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time. It's slowly messing up my mind. Now I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time, always just a little bit behind. People, I'm always in the wrong place, always at the wrong time.
That's an instant request for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. They also like it in the YouTube chat room there. That's Bunny Sigler. That is the B-side to Girl Don't Make Me Wait, his first release on the Parkway record label. It's called Always in the Wrong Place, parentheses, at the wrong time. Well, you're in the right place on Wednesday nights right here on Oldies and More Radio, also on YouTube, watching Johnny G spin original vinyl 45s. It's actually cool to do instant requests here as we continue here. I'm going to have another instant request with this one, but this group is out of Washington, D.C. The lead singer of the group was a member of the Marvels. The Marvels, they had a release in 1958 on the Laurie label. Then in 62, had 2 releases on Win Records. I feature those 45s on my 50s and early 60s show, so you want to tune in on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. if you like 50s and early 60s 45s. But in 1966, the lead singer of this group became the lead singer of the Satisfactions. He signed with Smash Records in 1966 for 3 releases. This is the B-side to their first, and the lead singer on this is James Ism. James Ism is the lead singer. This is the B-side. We're going to play the A-side after the B-side. This is September 66. The Satisfactions on Smash. It's called Stop Following Me.
She's following me. She's following me.
I think that someone is following me. I know this is the way it's got to be. The sound that I hear is getting closer and closer. I can't take it no longer, and my heart is giving out on me. Hey girl, stop following me. Hey girl, stop following me. I think that someone is calling to me. I ask her, please, please let me be. The sound of her voice is getting closer and closer. I can't take it no longer, and my heart is giving out on me. Hey girl, stop following me. Hey girl, stop following me. Someone is talking to me. Hey girl, you shouldn't have walked out on me. I hear the sound of misery. Hey girl, stop following me. And the sound of her voice is getting closer and closer. I can't take it no longer, and my heart is giving out on me. Give it up, give it up. Hey girl.
They're out of Washington, D.C. They're called the Satisfactions. That is their first release on the Smash record label. Song entitled Stop Following Me. That's actually the B-side. But you see, I was prepared. I was prepared because I thought possibly Mark Speck would request the flip side, as he did. So give me a minute to flip over this styrene 45 that I paid $1 for as we put it on the turntable here. So we're gonna flip this 45 over. Wait, set up right there. Yeah, there you go. So let's flip over that Satisfactions 45 from September 1966. The B-side was called Stop Following Me. This is the A-side. The A-side features James Ism on lead. This charted This charted number 10 on WAME. I think that was in Miami, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. This is the A-side is called Give Me Your Love. This is an instant request for Mark Speck.
Oh, I wish you were here to satisfy me, my dear. So come on home and give me your love. Do it again. Since that day you up and left me by myself, it's been a mess, and you know the rest. So give me your love. Do it again. The river's wide, and I can't stop it. I love you, baby, and I just can't help it. So come on home, and give me your love. Do it again. Hey, give me your love. 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 Send your love just for me. Keep it under a lock and key, baby, till I get home. And when I do, just give me your love. Do it again. Hey, give me your love. 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 Hey, come on, give me your love, baby. I want you. Hey, I need you, baby. Hey, give me your love. Hey, give me your love.
That's an instant request from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. The Satisfactions there. That is the A-side of their first release on the Smash label, their first of 3. It was called Give Me Your Love. I played the flip, the B-side, Stop Following Me, from September 1966. Beginning in 1970, they would record 3 for the Lionel record label, and either I have one at the end here to play, or I'll have one for a future show. So I know I have it in the box to play. Let's continue now. And here is another gal. She is originally from Newark, New Jersey, but she relocated over to the UK. Now, she is most noted for her cover version of the Dee Dee Warwick song, I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. That came out in January of 1968 on the Phillips label. But this was her first of 3 for the Ascot label. Now, before that, actually, I take it back. That I'm Gonna Make You Love Me was her first of 3 on the Phillips label, but this is before those Phillips releases. She recorded 2 on the Ascot label. This is her first, and this is her debut single, written and produced by British pianist. I think by this time, she might have already been over in the UK, because the writer on this is a pianist, composer, and music director and producer Charles Blackwell. This is from August 1964. Let's give a listen to Madeleine Bell. This is her debut single on the Ascot label. It's called You Don't Love Me No More. Madeleine Bell.
Me no more. You don't call me no more. You don't knock on my door. What's made you change? My love for you will last until my tried not to cry, but you said goodbye, goodbye to my arms. Don't know where I went wrong. Seems like my future's gone. Oh, but you don't love me no more. He won't kiss me no more. He won't hold me no more. He don't love me no
As Johnny G gets caught here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, there has big production sound there. The debut single for Madeleine Bell from August '64, her first of two on the Ascot label. You Don't Love Me No More is the name of that tune. And now when she moved to England, she befriended Dusty Springfield. They became good friends, and she sang background on many of her releases. In 1970, she would join a group called Blue Mink. I think she was the lead of Blue Mink, a release on the Phillips record label. That's her first from August '64, Madeleine Bell with You Don't Love Me No More. Let's continue now for this singer born in South Jersey. He was nicknamed the Human Percolator by disc jockey High Lit. Now, he had his first release in 1962 on the Deborah label. I know Dave the Rave has that 45. Actually, Dave the Rave interviewed him on his Relics and Rarities show. I can't remember when. It was a long time ago. He had him at his home there, and he stayed for like the entire show. And I don't know if Dave has the show archived. You got to check it out. You got to ask Dave if it is posted. But he did interview him. Now, in 1964, he signed with Lawn Records out of Philadelphia. A group backed him up on those releases. They were called The Expressions. In 1965, he had another release on the Parkway label. Then in 1966, he did two for Buddy Caldwell's V-Tone record label. Now, releases followed on Atlantic and Kama Sutra and Open and Kent. Some were re-releases of other songs he did earlier. In September of 1968, though, he released a cover tune that was first written and recorded by Joe South. And Joe South had his release earlier on Capitol in 1968. But then Billy Harner, he covered it. And it first came out on the Open label, a label based out of Philadelphia. And it was, for some reason, re-released. Open Records kind of changed their name to OR Records. So I don't know what the issue was, but it was about a year later that they re-released it. Now, it was a number 5 record on WHBQ in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm playing the OR release. It's from January '69. Let's give a listen to the Human Percolator. That is Billy Harner. This is on OR Records. It's called She's Almost You.
She walks like you, she talks like you, she wears her clothes and fixes her hair like you, and I almost love her because she's almost you.
Talk like you, almost you.
Got a new lover, wanna take your place. She's got charm and personality in a very pretty face. I know she loves me, and she's so good to me. But every little thing that she
That particular release from January 69, first released in September 68 on the Open label. I featured it on the OR label, the Human Percolator there, Billy Harner. Billy Harner and a song called She's Almost You. And I like the flip side of the 45, so this is an instant request for Johnny G. As I flip this 45 over here, because I like the B-side of this record too. A nice blue-eyed soul ballad, a tune written by Alicia Evelyn, and this was also the original flip on the Open label, re-released on OR January 69. Billy Harner with a B-side. It's called Fool Me.
Ever plan to say so long? Fool me, let me feel your mind until you're gone. It won't really be too hard to do. I could never bear to say goodbye. Never, never. So I pray your love for me won't die.
That's a cool ballad for Johnny G there, Billy Harner. Billy Harner, the B-side to She's Almost You, song entitled Fool Me, first issued on Open Records in September 68, re-released on the OR label in January 69, Fool Me. Johnny G ain't fooling anybody. I'm playing original vinyl 45s. We're here till midnight. Let's continue. Let's continue for this singer out of New Madrid, Missouri. His name is Maurice Dollison Jr. Now, after serving in the Army, he relocated to Chicago, Illinois. He was a guitarist, singer, and songwriter, and he changed his name and signed with Thomas Records. It's a subsidiary of the Satellite label. He had 4 releases on this Thomas label, and this is his first release. It's a song he wrote along with Monk Higgins. This happened to be his biggest hit, and it was unfortunate that it only bubbled under on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 102. It was 86 on Cashbox, number 19 on the R&B chart, but a big number 4 record if you were tuned into WVON up in Chicago, Illinois. We go to May 1966 for Cash McCall. Cash McCall on the Thomas label. It's called When You Wake Up.
go, leaving me behind. But baby, you will surely find that now he treats you so kind. I guess infatuation has made you blind, and now it's plain for me to see that you're just trying to forget about me. But one day you'll be sad and blue with no one to comfort you, and then you'll realize, baby, that he'll never understand you the way I do. But when you wake up, when you wake up, there's no use in begging you to stay, so just go on and have your way. You must know before you go that I can't help just loving you so now. All your friends, they say I'm a fool to keep loving you behind the things you do. But if you decide that you need me, I'll come running straight to you now. Oh, when you wake up, oh, when you wake up, ooh, baby, 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 ooh, you know I love you, crazy about you. I need to love so bad, I got to see you. Yeah, yeah.
That is the, well, I can't say the debut single. We can call it the debut single of Cash McCall under that name, because he did record on the, I lost my place here, because he did recall as Maurice Dollison Jr. That is his real name. But that is Cash McCall. That is his first of four on the Thomas label from May 1966. That's a one-sided promo, by the way, so don't ask me to flip it over. I'm sure I have the stock copy floating around somewhere in the No Humidity basement. But he would have two more releases on Checker Records, others I think on PS and Ron and Paula, and I think lots on Columbia into the 1970s. Anyway, Cash McCall there, When You Wake Up. Johnny G waking you up here on a Wednesday evening. We're here on Oldies and More Radio from 9 Eastern Time to midnight. We do a little bit of overtime, not as much as I do on the Saturday night show. I did like a 4-hour and 10-minute show last Saturday. That's wild. I still got people tuning into that one too. But let's continue here for this gal. She was born in Atascadero. If I need help here on this one, read Atascadero. There you go. I said it. Atascadero, California. She was 16 years old when she signed with Bob Keene's Donna record label out of California. Her debut single was a song called Echo. In 1962, she would record with groups and duets during her career. She sang in the 4Js also. They have a release on 4J Records in early 63, and she sang on that group. She was with her younger sister, Patrice. She did a duet with Hal Davis on Manasseh, also that came out on Snap Records. She did a duet with Jess Harris on the Brevet label, also Robert Jackson as the Soulmates. I Want a Girlfriend, Boyfriend, that's on the Era label. That's a good tune. And it's when Berry Gordy Jr. heard her singing at a DJ party in Los Angeles, he had to sign her to the label, and he signed her to his Tamla subsidiary. She would have 9 releases on the Tamla label between March 64 and August 67. Her biggest hit was her first on Tamla, was called Every Little Bit Hurts, but this is her last release on the Tamla label, which actually became a national smash hit, not for her, but for Blood, Sweat, and Tears in 1969 on the Columbia label. But this is the original version. This charted number 59 on Cashbox, 40 on the Billboard R&B chart, 39 on Billboard, but a big number 6 record on WROV in Roanoke, Virginia. Let's go back to August 67 for Miss Brenda Holloway and the original version of this song on the Tamla label. It's called You've Made Me So Very Happy. Brenda Holloway.
She said, try just once more. I chose you for the one. Now I'm having so much fun. You treated me so kind. I'm about to blow my mind. You made me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. My very soul, you always showed me that loving you is where it's at. You made me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. You made me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into you're even in my dreams. I hear you calling me. I'm so in love with you. All I ever want to do is just thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. You made me so very happy. I'm so glad you came into my
As Brenda Holloway. Actually, she co-wrote that song with a whole bunch of Motown guys there, but that's Brenda Holloway. The original version of You Made Me So Very Happy became a big hit for Blood, Sweat, and Tears in 1969. That's August 67 on the Tamla label. That was her final release for Tamla Records. Let's continue here for this singer from Layton, Alabama, who was the cousin to Jimmy Hughes. He would have his biggest hit in 1966 with his debut single for Atlantic Records called When a Man Loves a Woman. Had a total of 21 releases between the years 1966 and 1972 for Atlantic Records. Let's give a listen to his fourth single, a tune written by Bobby Womack. This charted number 95 on Cashbox, 87 on 95 on Cashbox, 87 on Billboard, 44 on the Billboard R&B chart, and a number 29 record if you were listening on WAKY out of Louisville, Kentucky. This one from February 67. This is Percy Sledge. Percy Sledge on Atlantic. It's called Baby Help Me. He's not known to do those cool up-tempo tunes like that. More known for the ballads. That's Percy Sledge there with from February 1967 on the Atlantic record label Baby Help Me, tune written by Bobby Womack. How about a twin spin with Mr. Percy Sledge? That was his fourth release we just heard on Atlantic. How about his eighth release? And this one released in November of 1967, as many of Percy's recordings were produced by Quinn Ivy. He was a former disc jockey turned writer, producer, and label owner who had his own studio in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and also Martin Green, who co-wrote this tune with his writing partner Eddie Hinton. Now Martin was also an engineer. Now he was an engineer guitarist for Quinn Ivy. Now, this tune charted number 70 on Cashbox, 42 on the Billboard chart, and number 39 on the R&B chart, but a big number 2 record on WRDW in Augusta, Georgia. And this is more of the sound that I used to hear by Percy Sledge. This one from November 1967, his 8th release on Atlantic. It's called Cover Me.
Cover me, spread your precious love all over me. Oh, can't you see the need in me? Oh, cover me, hide me, where no other love can find me. Oh, I'm feeling cold, I need you so. Cover me, oh, cover me. Yeah, my love for you gets stronger every day. Oh, temptation might be waiting down the way. When I'm lost and I get lost, find me. Kiss every little tear that blind me. Oh, darling, I don't want to lose you. Find me. Stay with me, baby, make it all the way with me. Oh, every day and every way. Stay with me, oh, stay with me. Cover me, spread your precious arms all over me. Oh, can't you see the need in me? Oh, cover me, cover
That's a twin spin for Percy Sledge. That's his 8th release on the Atlantic label from November 1967. Cover Me is the name of the tune. Didn't Bruce Springsteen do Cover Me, Barbara? not getting played on this show as we continue here on Vinyl Treasures. I go to this gal up next. She's from Dallas, Texas. She was a popular jazz lounge singer at first. She recorded an LP. It was called LP of Standards, I think is how they put it, for Columbia Records, along with 3 singles off that album. But while she was performing at the Red Fox Club in downtown Los Angeles, Bill Cosby heard her and offered her a contract to his new co-founded Tetragrammaton LP. And the result were 4 singles for her on that label. Now, this is her B-side. This is the B-side to her third, written by Joe Armstead. She also produced it with Detroit arranger Mike Terry. Now, this charted number 37 on WCHB in Detroit, also number 37 on WOCR in Oswego, New York. Let's go to March of 1969 for Miss Retta Hughes. Retta Hughes on the Tetragrammaton label. I love to say that. I have to separate the words, though, or I'll really screw it up. But this is Retta Hughes. Her tune is called Hip Old Lady on a Honda.
I gave my heart and soul to you, I loved you so. But you hurt me every time, still I couldn't let go. Understanding comes from tears, wisdom comes from years, I know. 'Cause a hip old lady on the Honda told me so. Hip old lady on the Honda told me so. She said, get ready, get ready, get ready, child, get ready. She's gonna have a lot of miseries before you can ride like me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And it all came to pass just what she said. So far you got me blowing out of my head. You caused me so much pain and strife, but I guess that's life. I know, 'cause a hip old lady on the Honda told me so. Yeah, hip old lady on the Honda told me so. She said, get ready, get ready, get ready. She's gonna have a lot of miseries before you can ride like me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And every word she said, I know that she meant it. She done that over and she raced off in it. Hip old lady, hip old lady, hip old lady got all my life. Hip old lady told me about life. Hip old lady, ooh, hip old lady, hip old lady hated me. Hip old lady's mind was free. Hip old lady, hip old lady, hip old lady on the Honda, hip old lady on the Honda.
There you go. Yes, Cool Transports. I would think that they meant the motorcycle. Right? That would have to be a Honda motorcycle, not the Honda car. But anyway, there you go. That's Retta Hughes there, March 1969. That's on the Tetragrammaton record label. Hip Old Lady on a Honda. I also like her rendition of the tune Light My Fire, which I found these records for a song and a dance. Not expensive for Johnny G at all. Let's continue here on the All 60s edition. Hope you're digging on the tune. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those of you watching Johnny G on YouTube, also please click the thumbs up if you like what you hear. And also click the subscription so you know when Johnny G goes live. It'll go right to your email and you can just click it and voila, you'll be here. As we go to San Bernardino, California for this next group. They were called the Tribulations. Now the A side of this 45 was called Mama's Love. I featured that on the August 29th 2022 All 60s show. Now, this is the B-side, which was produced by Shelley Garrett. Now, the song co-written by the lead singer. His name is James House. Let's go to October 1969. These are the Tribulations. I wonder where the Trials are, but no. The Tribulations on Imperial. It's called You Gave Me Up for Promises.
Where's the diamond ring he promised you? Have you been to all the places he said he'd take you to? Where are all the fellows that you once knew? Where's all the places he said he'd take you to? And where are all the people, baby, he said you'd meet? Where were all the slaves, honey, he said you'd eat? You gave me up, girl, all for promises. You gave me up, girl, all for promises. It wasn't good enough that I wouldn't climb. You kept on until you put me down. You better run to your mother, baby, baby. You better run, Lord, to the preacher man. 'Cause if you come running back to me, I'm gonna laugh as hard as I can. 'Cause you gave me, oh baby, 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 oh baby. Now haven't you heard the old saying, baby, that a bird in the hand, Lord, worth two in the bush? But you gave up a true love, yes you did. Well, love offered to you by a crook. Now listen, I know you've been hurt by someone else. I can tell by the way you carry yourself. I've been hurt too, baby, yes I have. That's how I know just how you feel. And you gave me, oh baby, 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 you gave me all promises, honey. Now listen, you better run to your mother, baby, baby. You better run, Lord, to the preacher man. 'Cause if you come running back to me, I'm gonna laugh as hard as I can. Oh, baby, 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 baby. No wonder my friends didn't believe me when they said you never leave me. 'Cause you gave me up all for promises,
I don't know, it sounds like David Ruffin singing on there, but it's not. The lead singer there, James House. They're called the Tribulations. That's the B-side of the 45, October 1969. Came out on Imperial Records. You Gave Me Up for Promises. Yes, you did. They would have a later release in 1971 on Shelley Garrett's Shelley label out of California. Let's continue now for this next singer. He's out of Houston, Texas. First recorded for the Fantasy record label back in 1963. Had a couple releases on Fantasy Records. Others followed on Imperial, on Convoy, did 4 on the Fat Fish label. Then in 1967, he signed with Decca Records for 5 releases. I played his first Decca release on the August 15th show. It was called It's Got to Be Mellow. Let's give a spin to the B-side of his 4th release. This is a tune he wrote. His name is Leon Haywood. Leon Haywood from May 1968 on the Decca label. It's called You Don't Have to See Me Cry. Leon Haywood.
You don't have to see me cry. Just walk on by. Walk on by. While I wipe the tears from my eyes. Walk on by. I'll get over losing you, but now there's nothing I can do but watch you walk away with him.
That's Leon Haywood, May 1968. That's the B-side to his fourth release on the Decca label. The A-side was called I Want to Talk About My Baby. And he would go on to record into the mid-1980s with releases on 20th Century Fox and MCA, and I think other labels. I have all those records down in the No Humidity basement, but they're from the 70s and 80s, or later 70s and 80s. Anyway, let's continue here now for this gal. She's originally from Brooklyn, New York. She was born Abigail Janet Hannis, and she recorded as Gail Harris, and she would have 3 releases on the Bang label. Now, this is her third. It was written and produced by Jeff Barry. Now, she would marry guitarist Danny Kochmar, I think that's his name, Danny Kochmar, and in 1965 she played the role of Janet Weiss in the Broadway the Broadway play The Rocky Horror Show. I really never watched the whole movie, but I don't know, maybe some of you know who she is or what she looks like. I don't, but her name is Gail Harris. This is March 1967 on the Bang label. It's called I've Never Gotten Over You.
Never thought we'd meet again. It's been some time. Baby, gee, you're looking good. I hope you find. Will I hear there's someone new now? Tell me, is it true now? I'd like to know. 'Cause I've never gotten over you, baby. I've never gotten over you, baby. I've never gotten over you, baby. Maybe you can turn to me when you're down. Maybe I'd be more than happy to come around. Well, I'd run right to your side now, put away my pride now, and make you smile. 'Cause I've never gotten over you, baby. I've never gotten over you, baby. I've never gotten over you, baby. Maybe if she lets you down, please let me know. Maybe I would never say I told you so. You just don't know how I miss you or how I want to kiss you. I better say goodbye now before I start to cry now. But don't forget that I've never gotten over you, baby. I've never gotten over you, baby. I've never gotten over you, and I never
As Gail Harris, that's her third release on the Bang record label. March 1967, I've Never Gotten Over You is the name of the tune. Well, you've gotten over here to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. As this next singer, he's from Washington, D.C. He's been a favorite here on the All 60s edition. I've been playing lots of his singles over the last couple of months. He had 19 releases on the Chess label, Chess Records out of Chicago, Illinois. Now, on the September 21st show, I played his second of 19 called Reap What You Sow. Let's give a listen to his sixth, a tune written by Maurice McAllister. And again, we played one earlier that Maurice wrote, but of course Maurice, he was the lead of the Radiants, and they also, that group recorded for Chess Records. Now this is the intended B-side here from March 1964. Billy Stewart on the Chess label. It's called A Fat Boy Can Cry. Billy Stewart.
Everybody loves me. They love a fat boy. They think I'm a lot of fun, just a bundle of joy. They don't believe that anything could ever bother me, but they don't know.
How many nights
Don't know. They don't know, child. They don't seem to realize that this fat boy can cry. This fat boy can cry. Everybody love me. They love a fat boy. They say I'm like a Santa Claus with his bag full of toys, happy and gay. Because they've never seen me any other way, but they don't know.
How many nights
I'm telling you that they don't know, child. They don't seem to realize that this fat boy can cry. This fat boy can cry. I've got to keep on smiling. 'Cause if I ever stop to make a frown, all of these tears I've been saving for years will come a falling under the falling down. They love me. They love a fat boy. They think I'm a lot of fun, just a bundle of joy. They don't believe that anything could ever bother me, but they don't know. They don't know now. Oh no, they don't seem to realize that this fat boy can cry. This fat boy can cry. Oh, don't you know I can shed a tear right now? Don't you know I can cry right now?
That's for all the fat boys out there. That includes Johnny G here. And listen, you see me on the camera, you know I'm a fat boy there, but that's Billy Stewart, March 1964. That is the B-side, what did I say, to his sixth release. His sixth release on the Chess record label, A Fat Boy Can Cry. That is definitely the case. Let's continue here and let's go to this group out of Nashville, Tennessee, formed by group members Charlie Fight, Herschel Carter, and lead singer Frank Howard. They were managed by disc jockey and host of the Big Beat Show, Hoss Allen, and he named the group the Commanders. This was recorded in Nashville at Fame Studios, and it's the group's debut single. This first came out on the local Hermitage label, which I have played here on the show. It was then picked up by Dot Records. I have both labels, as I've just told you, but I'm featuring the Dot single tonight. It's from November 65. It's Frank Howard and the Commanders. This is on the Dot label. It's called Just Like Him.
Just like him, I once stood there
proud, my head in the air. Said the words I do bound to be true, but it didn't work out that way. Just like she is standing there with her love for him to share. She once stood at my side, offered love till she died, but it didn't work out that way. Here I stand, a part of a man who can't hold back his tears. People all around, I saw the folks of town. No, I wished I was him today. Just like me, oh, too late I see just how much her love meant to me. Oh, what I wouldn't give my whole life to relieve, but it didn't work out that way. Oh, what I wouldn't give my whole life to relieve, but it won't work out that way. No, 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 it won't. No, no, it won't work out.
November 1965 release there for Frank Howard and the Commanders. That one there on the Dot record label. First came out on Hermitage Records. Just Like Him is the name of the tune. Now, they would have, or he would have a single on the Barry label, I think the group, same group, or he did, Barry Records in 1966. Then Frank Howard had there was a group, the group did on Barry. Then he had a solo release on Excello in January of 68, and then one more on Deluxe in 1970 as Frank Howard and the Continentals. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. Let's continue here. This next singer out of Brooklyn, New York, first recorded back in 1958, releases on the Choral label. In 1969, had a release on ABC Paramount, followed it up with a couple on the Royal Crest label. Then in 64, he would have this release on the Sandura label. It's a song he co-wrote with Samson Horton, May 1964. Let's give a listen to Lee Stone. Lee Stone on Sandura Records. It's called Wait for Me.
Wait for me, I'm coming home to you, my love, where I belong. Darling, I miss you so, how much you'll never know. And when I get home, I'm gonna love you so, so darling. Come on, baby, come on, come on, darling, come on, baby, wait for me. Now, baby, come on, I said come on. Come on, darling. Come on, baby. Wait for me. I lay in bed each night and I see your lovely face. I think of all the happy times we spent sharing each other's embrace.
His name is Lee Stone. Lee Stone there, May 1964. I think he's got another one. Another one on this label that is in demand. But this one here, Lee Stone on Sandura, song entitled Wait For Me. Let's move on here for this next singer. Actually, the lead singer of this group would join a male group from Brooklyn, New York. They were called the Escorts. They recorded for the Coral label back in 1962. You may know their cover song of the Cadillacs' Gloria, but in 1963, when performing in a New York City club, they met Genya Zelkowitz. I think it's not Gina. I think it's Genya, Genya. I think it's how you pronounce it, or is it pronounced Gina? Any of you guys out there know Genya, maybe the name? Zelkowitz, who migrated to the U.S. from Poland. Now, her nickname was Goldie. Now, she would become the group's lead singer, recorded two for Coral as Goldie and the Escorts. Then in early 64, she formed her own all-girl group and called them Goldie and the Gingerbreads. Their first release would come out on Spokane Records in February of 64. Then they signed to Atco in 1965 for 3 releases. This was their first of 3 from May of 1965. This is Goldie and the Gingerbreads. This is on Atco Records. It's called That's Why I Love You. That's the first of 3 for Goldie and the Gingerbreads, featured, as I did say it right, Genya Zelkowitz on lead. That one there from May 1965. That's Why I Love You. Now, Dave the Rave says that she is, where'd it go? I'm looking there. Dave the Rave, there you go. She is a disc jockey on Little Steven's Underground Garage. That's on Sirius Radio. Interesting. And Dave's, it's probably about 80 years old or in her later 70s now. And here we are playing her 45s. Actually, we're doing a twin spin for Goldie and the Gingerbreads, as this was the follow-up. This was her second of 3 on the Atco label. Now, this charted number 34 on WOLF in Syracuse, New York, from August 66, Goldie and the Gingerbreads. It's called Think About the Good Times.
We used to be such a lovely pair. He used to take me everywhere. There was nothing that he wouldn't do, just to prove that his love was true. Now I'm alone in my lonely room, nothing left in my heart but blue. Think about the good times, oh yeah. Think about the good times, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. People used to stop on the street and stare. Yes, they do. People run his fingers through my hair. He used to meet me in the middle of the street. Why, he'd even kiss me every time we'd meet. Now I'm alone in my lonely room, nothing left in my heart but blue. Think about the good times, oh yeah. Think about the good times, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Think about the good times. Every time you hold me, think about the good times. Every time you kiss me, think about the real good times. Every time you beat me, think about the good times. Every time you squeeze me, yeah, 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 yeah. He used to take me to the movie show, even to the matter that he take me everywhere he go, everywhere. Even to the hot dog stand, even to the people who see us holding hands. Yes, they now I'm alone in my lonely room, nothing left in my heart but blue. Think about the good times, oh yeah. Think about the good times, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Think about the good times. Every time you hold me, think about the real times. Every time you kiss me, think about the bad times. Every time you squeeze me, think about the good times. Hey, you gotta please me, yeah. Think about the good times. Every time you hold me, think about the good times. Every time you hold me, think about the real times. Every time you kiss me, think about the good times. Oh, you gotta please me, yeah. Feel alright, good times. Every time you hold me, talk about the good times. Every time you kiss me, feel about the good times.
That's the second of 3 on the Atco label for Goldie and the Gingerbreads. Mark mentions in the YouTube chat that was a cover of the Soul Sisters release on the Sue label, written by Sidney Barnes and J.J. Jackson. That rendition from August 66 on Atco, with Jenna Zeldowitz on lead. Now, Jenna would change her name to Jenna Raven, or Ravan. I don't know. I have Raven here. But and she'd form a new group called 10 Wheel Drive back in 1969 with releases on the Polydor record label. I think I have 1 or 2 of those releases, by the way. But she is 82 now. 82. I wonder if she can still rock at 82 like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures show for this next singer, originally from Durant, Mississippi. Reed, did you get the link that I sent you on this artist? And first recorded back in 1958 on the 4-star label out of California with a group called the Future Tones. Just actually played that last week for Sterling, I think, on my all 50s and early 60s show. It's called All I Want Is You, and wouldn't have his next release until 1963. Possible he went into the service. You know, a lot of these singers, they would either get drafted or join the service on a lot of the 1950s groups. But he returned in 1963 on the Everest label. His first release on Everest, a song called How Can I Forget, would become his biggest hit. And he had other releases on KT, Tip, Diplomacy. Now, he signed with the Minute label in 1966. He had 12 releases on Minute Records. Now, this was his first, and it was a song he wrote, and this made it up to 98 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 21 on the R&B, but a big number one record on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. We go to May 1966. Give a listen to Jimmy Holiday. Jimmy Holiday on Minute Records. It's called Baby, I Love You.
Baby, I love you. Yes, I do.
I love you.
Yes, I do.
Don't know why, but I do. Girl, I'm crazy about you. You entered my life and upset my dreams. You've been a part of me all my life, it seems, and that's why
I love you. Yes, I do.
I love you, baby.
Yes, I do.
I'm alone, 'cause I can't stand the crowd. The talking and the laughter is much too loud. So I'll just sit here all alone, hoping while I pray that you'll hurry home. Oh,
Baby, I love you. Yes, I do.
I love you.
Yes, I do.
Lord knows I do. Lord, my hair is turning gray, and I've wasted my whole life away. So I'm gonna dry away these tears and try to enjoy my last few years. But hold it, though I'm leaving you on your own. Don't forget to pray for me, darling, after I'm gone. Go to church and light a candle. Oh, but don't forget me.
Yes, I do.
I love you. I love you.
Yes, I do.
Lord knows I love you. Oh,
Yes, I do.
I can't help
Baby, I
myself.
love you.
I've tried and tried and tried and tried.
I like that tune there. That's Jimmy Holiday there, May 1966. That's his first release on the Minute label. I think he lip-synced that on Where the Action Is, if I'm not mistaken. Baby, I Love You. That's his first release on the Minute label, first of 12 on Minute. We continue here for this next singer-songwriter, guitarist, born Sylvester Thompson in Holly Springs, Mississippi, but he was raised in Chicago, Illinois. He would sign with Sid Nathan's Federal label in 1959. Now, Nathan suggested he change his name from Sylvester Thompson to Syl Johnson, and he had lots of releases on a number of labels, mainly on the Twilight label and also on High Records. But in 1966, he had a release on John Zachary and Johnny Cameron's Zachron label, which would then be re-released, or I don't know, either licensed out to Tag Limited. Now, the A-side was called Straight Love No Chaser, but I like the B-side better, written by Johnny Cameron. We go to January 1967 for Syl Johnson. Syl Johnson here on Tag Limited. The song is called Surrounded.
I'm surrounded, baby. Your love is like the FBI. Surrounded, baby. Your love is like the FBI. Dead on my track, can't get off my back. Name should be called I spy. I go from got me covered in your book. So come on, take me in your custody. Play it smart, handcuff my heart. I know I'll never be free. All right, yeah. Covered in your book, so come on, take me in your custody. Play the smart, handcuff my heart. I know I'll never be free, baby. You got me tied up, baby. You got me all wrapped up in your arms, baby. I can't get loose now. I'm surrounded, baby. Surrounded, baby. I'm surrounded, baby.
There you go. That's another one that just cut off there, but that's originally, that came out on originally on the Zacharon label. I don't know if I have it. The label looked familiar. I mean, the block print Zacharon, I might have that, but that's Syl Johnson there, January 67 on Tag Limited, song entitled Surrounded, and don't know why that record just turned up on this label. And not many records on this Tag Limited label anyway. Let's continue. Here we are. Let's go back to Chicago, Illinois. This group performed at the Democratic National Convention back in 1960. Now, Carl Davis, he was the A&R director for OK Records. He heard them there at that convention and brought them to the OK record label, and they did some backing work for Major Lance, also recorded for OK, which led to their own releases. Now, this is the B-side to their second release, their second of 5 on the OK label. Now, it features Marvin Smith on lead. Let's go to March of 1964 for the great sound of the Artistics on OK Records. It's called I'll Leave It Up to You.
Saying goodbye, pleases you. What more can I say? What more can I do? I'll
That's the sound of the Artistics. That one there on the OK record label, March 1964 release. I'll Leave It Up to You. Marvin Smith, the lead on that. That's actually the B-side. The A-side was a cover of the Marvin Gaye tune, Get My Hands on Some Lovin', and it really is not as good as that side. I prefer that side. As we continue here, those of you tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show, if you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get an email. You got to be signed in to YouTube, though, but we're simultaneously broadcasting live on Oldies and More Network. But again, the visual is on YouTube, so you need to do that. Let's continue now for this gal from New York City. She first recorded back in 1961 on the Aku record label with a group called the Delmonicos, a song that I feature on my 50s and early 60s show. The song was called Teenage Idol. She would record 2 for United Artists and 1 more for ABC Paramount. This is her first of 2 on United Artists, and the A-side was called Johnny Casanova, but I like the B-side of the 45, and this one produced by Lockie Edward Jr., arranged by Horace Ott. So I bought it because I saw Horace Ott on the label, and what do you want for a buck anyway? This is from December 1963. Give a listen to Denise Jermaine. Denise Jermaine on United Artists. It's called Unforgotten Yesterdays.
I'm reading those love letters you wrote long ago. I'm looking at your picture hanging by the door. My diary tells of the night we first met, and our first kiss I'll never forget. So I'm not all alone. You know you are gone, 'cause I the initials on the big oak tree in my front yard. So yes, love's empty, just like from the start. I play on records that we once romanced to. Oh, these were goodies that we used to dance to. Though you're not here with me, there's that sweet memory that I
Her name is Denise Jermaine. That's her first of 2 from December 1963. That's actually the B-side. Unforgotten Yesterdays is the name of the tune, arranged by Horace Ott. That's on United Artists. The flip side was played here in New York on WABC, a song called I think it was called Johnny Casanova, but a little bit more of a teen sound. That was a little bit better. That was a little bit more adult sounding. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening on Oldies and More Radio, also streaming live on YouTube. We do it every Wednesday night from 9 Eastern Time to midnight. We'll do a little bit of overtime. All Soul 45s out of my collection. Let's go to this next singer. Began recording in the late 1950s under his real name, which was Nat Wright, beginning back in 1958 for ABC Paramount, but others came out by him on Warwick and Seven Arts and Captain and Music Craft and the Pedal label. Then under an alias, he recorded as Washington Smith. If this one first came out on the Detroit-based Rainbow label, then it was picked up by OK Records. Now, the A-side was called Fat Cat, but I'm spinning the flip side, a tune written by Joey Brooks, produced and arranged by Barry Cornfield and Joey Brooks. This one from February 1967. Give a listen to Washington Smith, a.k.a. Nat Wright. This is on OK Records. It's called Don't Take Your Love From Me.
Never had a lot of good things going. Then you walked into my life one day. You brought me sweet love, a love I never knew. Now that I found you, oh, I'm begging you, baby, don't you take your love away from me. No, don't you take your love away from me, baby, no. Whoa, whoa, don't ever go. Since you wrapped your loving arms around me, baby, you've been messing up my mind. Don't ever leave me, say you'll never go, 'cause your life is my life and I need you so, baby. Don't you take your love away from me. No, don't you take your love away from me, baby, no. Whoa, don't ever go. Don't ever leave me, say you'll never go, 'cause your life is my life and I need you so, baby. Don't you take your love away from me. No, don't you take your love away from me. No, 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 don't you take your
February 67 there on the OK record label. Washington Smith, a.k.a. Nat Wright. Don't Take Your Love From Me is the name of the tune. He would move to Europe in the 1970s and record as Tony Moore, I think like disco stuff as Tony Moore in Europe. We continue here on Vinyl Treasures for this next singer born in Elberton, Georgia, but he moved to Philadelphia when he was 4 years old. He was a member member of the 1950s vocal group known as the Gainers, which also included Garnet Mims as the lead singer, but he would embark on a solo career in 1964, recording for Jerry Ragavoy's Utopia label. And his debut solo release was a song called Half a Man. It would be picked up by Verve Records, I think is his second release on Verve, but he had 8 releases on the Verve label. This was his very last, a tune written and produced by Jerry Ragavoy, arranged by Richard T. from November 1968. Let's give a listen to Howard Tate. Howard Tate on Verve Records. It's called Sweet Love Child.
Sweet, sweet love child, you sure do make me smile. Sweet love child, please stay a little while. You got the love, I got the fever. I wanna be your love receiver. Sweet, sweet love child. Ah, the way you turn me on. Sweet love child. Girl, you never do no wrong. You got the time, I got the place. Baby, we got no time to waste. Baby, you know much too much, especially at the moment we touch. I never had such sweet inspiration. I think your kind of love is a new creation. Sweet, sweet, sweet love child. I think that I would cry. Sweet, sweet, sweet love child. If you ever said goodbye, 'cause I got a love deep in my heart. 1, 2, 3, come on, let's start. Love, 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 love child. Give me fever. Sweet love child. I wanna be your love receiver. Sweet, sweet, sweet love child. Girl, the way you turn me on. Ah, sweet, sweet, sweet love child. You never do no wrong.
That's Mr. Howard Tate. That's his very last release on the Verve label from November 1968. Sweet Love Child is the name of the tune. Had releases followed on Turntable, Atlantic, Epic, other labels also. Unfortunately, he passed away on December 2nd, 2011. He was 72 years old. He died from leukemia, but we remember him here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here, and we go back to Philadelphia for this girl group. They were formerly known as the Sweet Three. They consisted of Jean Thomas, Pat Cummings, and Catherine Nichols. First recording for the Decca label in '66, had 2 releases, I think, or 3. 2 releases on Decca. Then in '67, they had 1 on the Cameo label. In 1968, they would change their name to the Mellow Moods for this release on Charles Koppelman and Don Rubin's We Make Rock and Roll Records. I hate that title. It's too long. Anyway, this tune written by Leon Huff, produced by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff for John Madera production, and this is from June '68. These are the Mellow Moods, the girl group, on We Make Rock and Roll Records. It's called When You Go, Take Your Memories To, the Mellow Moods.
I gave you love is true.
June 68 release there for the Mellow Moods. Mellow Moods on We Make Rock and Roll Records. When You Go, Take Your Memories Too. Previously recorded as the Sweet 3. Now, they would have one more release in one in 71 on North Bay, and then another release on the Gamble label in 73. I have both those 45s. We'll get them on a future Vinyl Treasure show. We now continue here for this singer born James Moore. Was born just outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He played both the guitar and the neck rack harmonica. He signed with Ernie Young's Excello record label back in 1957. Now, to differentiate himself from another artist that recorded on the Excello label that played harmonica was Harmonica Slim. So he listened to his wife. He took her suggestion to change his name to Slim Harpo. So he went from James Moore to Slim Harpo. Now, his biggest hit was in 1966, a song called Baby Scratch My Back. That was his 12th release on the Excello label. In all, he had 22 releases on Excello between 1957 and 1970. Let's give a listen to his 16th, and it's a song he wrote. This charted number 16 on KOKA in Shreveport, Louisiana. Let's go to September 1967 for Mr. Slim Harpo. Slim Harpo on the Excello label. It's called I'm Gonna Keep What I've Got.
Something I can't stop, so I believe I'm gonna keep what I got. You love your man with a whole lot of soul. Everything shine, it can't be solid gold. But if you play in fire, you're gonna get burned. You don't believe me? Try it out and you'll learn that it's hot. I better keep what I got.
Very cool tune there by Mr. Slim Harpo. Tune he wrote called I'm Gonna Keep What I've Got. That one there from September 1967 on the Excello record label. That's his 16th of 22 on Excello. Lots of records by that artist. We continue here for this next group. Got their start in gospel. Originally, they're from DeLand, Florida. Then they relocated to Newark, New Jersey. They were called the Hightower Brothers, which included their father, the Reverend Nick Hightower, and his 5 sons. Now, the lead singer of the group was Robert Lee Little Sugar Hightower. First recording for the Nashboro label back in 1959. Then in 1964, they would have 2 more gospel releases on Don Robey's Peacock label, and then finally they would change their style. 3 secular releases on Don Robey's Sure Shot label. They changed their name to, I think it was Little Mr. Lee on 2 of their 45s, but this one, they're just Mr. Lee and the Cherokees. This was the intended B-side to their second of 3, tune written by the lead singer, Robert Hightower, from April 65. Let's give a listen to Mr. Lee and the Cherokees on the Sure Shot label out of Houston, Texas. It's called Come Closer. That's the second of 3 there for Mr. Lee and the Cherokees. Second of 3 on the Sure Shot label, Come Closer, the B-side of the 45, released in April 1965. Robert Hightower, the lead singer of that, he's Mr. Lee. And the A-side was called Take Your Time, which is actually not a bad record either. But we're getting here. We're going to do a little bit of overtime here as we continue. And up next, a singer born James Walker on August 13th, 1921. He's from Helena, Arkansas, but better known by his stage name, and that'd be Jimmy McCracklin. Singer, pianist, songwriter, mainly blues singer, though, but his career spanned 7 decades, beginning back in 1945, and writing almost 1,000 songs during his career, recorded over 100 and he wrote over 1,000 songs, recorded over 100 songs, and had over 30 LPs. Now, the 45's, I don't know, because they begin with the 78's, of course, but then I think starting in 1951, the 45's start, and 78's too. I think with Swing Time, I think I have one on the Swing Time label, or a couple possibly, but he recorded on many different labels during his career: Peacock, Modern, Premium, Irma, Mercury, and now in the 1960s, more records on High, Chess, Art Tone, Imperial, and this label that I'm featuring him on, Minute Records, where he had 8 releases on Minute between 1967 and 1970. This was his first, a tune written by Jimmy Holiday and Jimmy Lewis. And I don't know if maybe Jimmy Holiday did this first. I didn't check. But this charted number 13 on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's go to February 67 for Mr. Jimmy McCracklin. Jimmy McCracklin on the Minute label. It's called Let the Door Hit You.
All day and come home at night to an empty house just ain't right. I know you know it, but you don't care. So you can go now anywhere. Just gather your rags and pack up your bag and let the door hit you while the dog bit you, and walk on, yeah, walk on out of my life. Listen, girl, to what I say. You break my heart most every day. I know you know it, but you don't care. So you can go now anywhere. Dig this. Gather your rags and pack up your bag and let the door hit you while the dog bit you, and walk on, yeah, walk on out of my life. Oh, girl, you had a good thing, but like a fool, you threw it away. And now Jimmy, he don't want you, so I advise you to go and stay. Get out of my life. You out there knocking on my door. You said that's cold, was cold before. Now I know that you know. You can go anywhere and do as you please, 'cause I don't care if you freeze. Just let the door hit you while the dog bit you, and walk on, yeah, walk on out of my life. I'm gonna forget you, so let the door let the door hit you, baby. I'm gonna forget you, so let the door. And I hope the same dog bite you.
February 67 release there for Jimmy McCracklin. That's his first on the Minute label, first of 8 on Minute. Let the Door Hit You is the name of the tune. Johnny G almost ready to close the door, but not quite. We are a little bit of Vinyl Treasure overtime here on Oldies and More Radio, also on YouTube for this next singer, born Oscar James Gibson, originally from Youngstown, Ohio. Now, beginning in his teens, he became a female impersonator, singing and performing in drag, but he would relocate to New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, Eddie Mesner, co-owner of the Aladdin label, saw him perform, and his debut single was released on the Aladdin label back in 1953. It was called Have Mercy. Would follow it up with one on the Dot label in 54, and had releases on Ace and a release on the Gail label. But in 1960, he would have his biggest hit on Bobby Robinson's Fire record label. It was a cover of Big J McNeely's song, There's Something on Your Mind. Now, he would continue to have releases in the 1960s on other labels, Volt Records, Dial, Sphere Sound, and in 1966, he signed with Cameo for 5 releases. Now, this is the B-side to his first, a tune written by Clarence Reed. This is from April of 66. Let's give a listen to Bobby Marchand. Bobby Marchand on the Cameo label. It's a B-side. It's called Everything a Poor Man Needs.
more than any kind of money. The way you dance, it keeps me uptight. And baby, that walk is way out of sight. You got everything a poor man needs. Everything a poor man needs now. You got everything a poor man needs. And baby, that's a lot. Ooh, baby, that's a whole lot. You know what I'm talking about now. You say the sweetest thing that I ever heard. And there's soul in every word. You make my heart beat just like a drum. Girl, tell me where did you come from? You got everything a poor man needs. Everything a poor man needs now. You got everything a poor man needs. And baby, that's a lot. Ooh, baby, that's a whole lot now. Yeah. My friends say I should leave you alone, but I just got to make you my own. They say there's much bigger fish in the sea, but baby, you're the only fish I need. 'Cause you got everything a poor man needs. You got everything a poor man needs now. You got everything a poor man needs. And baby, that's a lot. Ooh, to me that's a whole lot. Yeah, baby, you got a whole lot of loving. Yeah, and girl, you got a whole lot of hugging. Yeah, and honey, you got a whole lot of kissing. Ooh, and baby, that's the kind of love that I've been missing. Yeah, and that's all.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, February 67. No, I'm sorry, April 66. Bobby Marchand on the Cameo record label. That is the B-side of his first, a song entitled Everything a Poor Man Needs. Now, the A-side was called There's Something About My Baby. That is the A-side of the 45. Going to do it. We got two more 45s to go here before Johnny G signs off. We're going to do a twin spin with Bobby Marchand. Now, this is another B-side. Now, you may know the A-side of this. It's called Shake Your Tambourine, which was a number 14 R&B hit for him, his second of 5 on the Cameo label. But I like the flip side. Now, I think some of those that Shake Your Tambourine came out as Shake Your Moneymaker, I think was some, maybe the earlier releases. But the flip side of this is called Shake Your Tambourine. But let's play the B-side of the 45. It's from September 1966. This is his second of 5 for Bobby Marchand. It's on the Cameo label. It's called Just Be Yourself.
You don't have to try to impress me. You might overdo it and upset me. Don't ever try to pretend.
Don't do it.
You only get hurt in the end. So just be yourself. That's enough for me. Many a love has been lost in vain.
Oh, yes, it has.
And never been found again. But if you're sure,
pretty, baby,
your love is true, there is one thing I want you to do. Just be be yourself.
Your sweet little self.
That's enough for me. It hurts to love and lose someone. Believe me, I know how it feels. You don't have to worry about heartaches and pain as long as love is real. We'll make our plans for the future, and forget what happened in the past. You'll never walk alone. I know you'll have a happy home if you just be your sweet little self. That's enough for me.
Just be yourself.
Oh, be your own little self.
Just be yourself.
That's all I can ask, my darling. That's all I want you.
Just be yourself.
That's our twin spin by Bobby Marchand there. That's his second B-side to his second release on the Cameo record label, Just Be Yourself. The A-side called Shake Your Tambourine, September 1966 on the Cameo record label, Just Be Yourself. Well, Johnny G's got to be himself by scooting out of here. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to these cool 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with me, you can send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new to the program. You have to be signed into YouTube to do that, so you have to do that. Then you can click the thumbs up, give me a thumbs up, and also click the bell, and you want all notifications. You'll get an email when I go live. I've been putting up after the show gets posted on YouTube and the chat is up, I'm able to schedule the next stream. So I've been doing that. I've been scheduling the stream ahead of time, like 3 days ahead of time or 2.5 days ahead of time. So you can go there, and I don't know if it sends you an email or what, but there's a button you can click that will notify you. I don't know how that works, but I saw it when I signed in tonight, that it was set up there, that it was that the show was upcoming momentarily. So you might want to click that to get the notification. I don't know how it works, but you should try it. But that's going to do it for tonight. I will be back next Monday evening again at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 to midnight, for more 60s 45s out of my collection. If you like 50s and early 60s, tune in on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 to midnight. I usually go an hour overtime. We're going to be shortening that a little bit because it's really too much, but I really do appreciate all the people tuning in and communicating with me during the week. It's a blast for me. This is really the only time I get to enjoy my 45s, when I play them for you, the YouTube and the Vinyl Treasure listeners. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all your correspondence. And I want everybody to have a safe and happy week. And we're going to close the show tonight. I almost forgot to tell you what we're closing tonight. An odd record here. It's a 45 out of Fort Worth, Texas. Came out on a label called Campo Records. That's where the label was out of, Fort Worth, Texas. It's actually a cover song. This tune was first recorded back in 1964 on King Records by Bobby Skelton. Bobby Skelton did this. I think it was his second record. His first one was on Fairlane, and then he did this song. But this is, which was a teen ballad. This is more up-tempo, done by a gal this is a gal, not a guy, a gal by the name of Johnny Wade. Johnny Wade from 1965 on the Campo label. It's called Just Two People. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. If you want to hear 50s and early 60s, I play the music chronologically on Saturday nights. Tune in Saturday night at 9 p.m. If not, I'll be back here with more soul 45s out of my collection. That's going to do it, folks. Everybody be well. Have a safe and happy week. I will see you next week. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
the busy people on their way back to us. There's just two people in the world. Whenever you're with me, we let our love surround us. And when we're in a crowd, it seems there's no one else around us. Oh, you touch my hand and we're alone. We're in a world all our own, and to us, there's just two people in the world. Whenever you're with me, we let our love surround us. And when we're in a crowd, it seems there's no one else around us. You touch my hand and we're alone. We're in a world all our own, and to us, there's just two people in the world. Just two people in the world. And to us, there's just two people.
Okay, folks, that's going to do it for tonight. If I said Monday, I'm losing my mind. Because I got to take my father. Back up to the VA. I got to leave early tomorrow, and it's a pain. It's 86 miles one way. What a pain. Anyway, here's that record. Actually, I thought it was a pretty cool record, by the way. Johnny Wade's her name. I couldn't find any info on this. Spence sold it to me. I think he wanted a lot of money. I said, "Will you take 20?" He gave it to me for $20. What could I tell you? Anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. If I said Monday, that's a mistake. I'll be here on Wednesday nights. Because I just switched. Sometimes I was so used to 8 o'clock, but everything is 9. Both shows are at 9 o'clock. So I'll be back next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up if you will, folks. Thank you. And also subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Lots of people starting to find out about the show. Those of you that like soul music. I don't sound like I play a lot of northern soul, but there's different types of soul music in that genre. So I just go through boxes of 45's every week. I take a different letter and I look through them. I even talked to Dave the Rave about it. Dave, what about this record? Oh no, that's a garage record. Oh no, is this a soul record? So that's what I do, and I just test them. So then I get a pile and a stack of them, and I go down, I clean them, and then I kind of put them in piles, and then I mix and match the tempos. So I get a little bit discombobulated when I get requests that might not go with the flips with the next record, but it's working out. They were great flip sides tonight. Mark and Reed had great flip sides tonight, so that's always good. And it's good because sometimes I don't hear the flip sides of the records. If it sounds good on that side, well, I always play them, before I put them back in the box, but I need people to come and help me file them. Where are the L's to come and help me file my 45's? But anyway, I got to go, folks. I got to get up tomorrow early, and I'll see some of you on Saturday night at 9 o'clock. If not, I'll see you back here on YouTube or Oldies and More Radio. You tune in 9 o'clock, 9 to 12. Great, cool 45's out of my collection. So everybody take care. Stay well as the weather's starting to get cool out there. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.